Hi there. So we know there are a few things more intimidating than the blank page, and one of them is a white canvas. And it doesn't have to be as huge as the one behind me. It can be this little one that's the same size of a piece of paper. I don't know why, maybe because it looks fancy, maybe because it's a little bit more expensive. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about this? In any case, I thought I will teach you how to paint some wall art, but instead of using canvas, we're gonna make it more friendly and less scary by turning these into our canvases today. We're taking cereal boxes, cracker boxes, whatever you have, and we're gonna make our own canvases and then our own wall art. Let me show you how to do this.
So here are the two empty boxes I had at home, and the first thing we're going to do is break them apart by hand, and then of course you're going to have to cut the side that is glue. Oops, little almond there. And once you have them flat, you want to make all four sides the same width. So for example, for the cereal box, I had to do it 3/4 of an inch or 2 centimeters, so it would be the same height because of the tabs that were broken. Once I measured all of my box around and I have the lines, I of course cut it, and I have this leftover part that I'm gonna save because maybe I can come up with some other cereal box crafts to show you. And then I went ahead and cut all of the other sides. Once I had it cut, I turned it over and folded my box the opposite way. We are gonna want to paint on the non-printed side of the box, so that's why I'm doing it this way. And what I did also was I held the corners together with a little bit of Scotch tape, so it would be easier to glue them with my glue gun after, and the edges would be straight and I wouldn't burn my fingers as much as I usually do. So once you turn it around, you're gonna see you have like this box, or like the lid of a box that looks almost like a canvas. Let me rapidly do the same thing with my other box, the cracker box, and I kind of like this one better because I was able to leave the edges a little bit thicker, a whole inch, and I think that's gonna make for a nicer canvas, quote unquote. Same process, held the corners with a piece of tape, glued them up, and then my second box was ready. I could paint on the boxes as they are, but one of the things that elevates art on canvas is the texture of the canvas, which is really, really nice and looks fancier when the piece is finished. So we are going to add that texture with gesso. And if you don't know what gesso is, it's just a wine paint mixture. I think it has chalk, gypsum, something like that, also that gives it texture, and it also is a primer for art. So most of the canvas you buy anyhow are primed with gesso, and if not, you have to prime it with something. Okay, so I picked a hard square large brush because I want a lot of texture on these, and I'm gonna cover my whole boxes first in one direction and the sides, and then of course in the other direction, because I want it to be like the fabric of the canvas. I had to let those two first layers dry, so I went ahead and made a snack for myself. Here it is. And then applied a third layer, very thick one, and while that dried, I went to eat my snack, of course. After a while, they were pretty dry, and it's kind of hard to see on camera, but now the texture is there, so they do in fact look more like canvases. I was so happy. It's time to paint, and for the first one, I'm gonna do some word art, and I chose this phrase through my Instagram stories. Thank you if you voted. We are doing create happiness. And before I carry on, there's a question I get asked all the time, and that's what type of paint I use. For my fine art, I use like the highest quality acrylics out there, which are these golden acrylics. And for here, where I'm having fun and just creating because I love it, I use craft paints, any kind, any brand. But if you want to support my channel, you could do it by buying the one I recommend through my Amazon storefront. I make a really tiny commission, but it still helps. Okay, so to painting. I did this close-up shot so you can see the paint going on and how the piece is gonna have texture. So yay. And then I decided to change the color of the background and I went with a gray. Listen, This was supposed to be my fast design for the day, but I don't know why. Maybe because I try to make this rainbow element so perfect. This took forever. I don't know. Maybe it took me 2 hours to create this painting. I don't know. It was supposed to be fast. So if you want to see the fast one, go all the way to the end because that one did take me 15-20 minutes. I thought I'd just let you know that this took long because I just fidgeted and fidgeted with those colored lines so much until I found them to be sort of perfect. I don't know. And I didn't want this video to be this long, so I'm going to speed through. I got the rainbow down. Then, of course, I started doing my letters. I gave my white Posca such a good shake to do that. And wrote my first word on it, and then of course my second. And once the words were nice and thick and done, I decided to decorate the rest of my canvas, not only with little hearts everywhere, but also with this little cute panda that I had in my sketchbook and I used for my rock painting video. But since that rock is all gone and someone has it in their house, I wanted to have something with my panda on it. And then finally I signed this piece. Oh my god, I've just noticed that I'm not signing my work here. I just have too much fun and I forget to sign, so I'm signing it with just with my name, Paula, different than what I signed my fine art. That's a story for another day. And this first painting is done. Time to move to the second one, and fast idea. For this one, I wanted to do a landscape and not use as many colors. So I'm doing a quarter moon, and then I'm going to do some simple clouds. Just, you just draw clouds however you want them to go. It's really simple. And after I had my clouds down, I use my darkest blue straight out from the bottle and did the background with that color. And then the idea is just to use the same color, just adding small quantities of white to mix it for the other clouds. So you have like this gradient, and all you have to do is add to the same paint more white and more white and more white. Before painting my moon, I wanted my clouds to dry, so I treated this like I would do any other painting on canvas, and I painted the sides blacks so it would look really, really polished. I thought I'd make my paint a little bit more special by making the moon gold with my gold marker. And I know you're gonna wonder about this. This is a gold edding marker. I usually use Posca for everything except for this because this gold marker is amazing and it's just much more pigmented than Posca. Anyhow, I wanted to add more personality to this, so I lined up the clouds like I usually do, outside the blinds. And now that I'm looking at it in addition, it kind of looked really, really nice. But for some reason, when I was doing it in person, I didn't like the clouds that I lined inside. So I went over them with paint. I just covered everything that I didn't like. And then I added the 8 lines on the outside. And I thought that looked better. But seriously, now that I'm editing, I don't know what I was thinking. I added some cute little stars, more golden stars, and my painting is done. So I signed it, and here's how they look hanging like on top of my materials card. And funny story, while I was working on this project, my son actually thought I was working on canvas until I picked them up and he saw the back of them and he was really surprised. So there you go. Let me know if you like this project and idea. Please like, comment, share. It really helps my channel and it really helps me know what you would like to see if you comment. Have the most wonderful day. I'll see you next time. Bye.